If you want to hit your first 100K fast, you need to stop wasting money on things that don't actually improve your life. In this video, I'll give you 10 things where you can cut back dramatically without sacrificing your quality of life. Once you cut these 10 things, you'll free up more cash than you think. And when I say buy this instead of that and invest the difference, I don't mean you will literally take every dollar saved at the mall and immediately transfer to your brokerage account. The key is intentional budgeting, allocating less in areas where spending doesn't actually improve your life so you free up more money for investing. Let's get into it. First on the list is convenience. This is your DoorDash, Uber Eats, and whatever other services you get delivered for a fee. Your convenience fees are almost as much as the cost of the meal itself. If you do Uber Eats 3 times a week on average, your weekly cost is about $90. Here's your monthly cost, and here's your cost per year. I'm going to show you how to use the future value formula with ChatGPT to estimate the amount if you invested the money instead. If you cut out this expense altogether and invest the $4,700 instead at 8% for 10 years, you are 2/3 of the way to your first 100K. If you still get takeout, but pick it up yourself, this cuts the cost in half, and the money that you don't spend on delivery fees gets you 1/3 of the way to your first 100K. Next is your daily latte or whatever the daily thing is for you. It's never just about the $5. It's about the habit. Spending $5 a day may not feel like much, but over a month, that's $150. Over a year, it's $1,800. And if you're in the process of saving your first 100K, that's a lot of money. When you're saving your first 100K, every dollar is so important. Just as you need to invest as much as you can, you need to be as intentional as you can about how you choose to spend what you don't invest. I'll argue that traveling, upgrading your house, investing in your own education is a far better way to spend money than that daily latte. And here's the future value of your money if you stop buying a daily coffee and invest it instead for 10 years at 8%. The third area where you can easily save is by skipping brand name items when cheaper alternatives offer the same quality. Think about things that aren't meant to last more than a year or two, like workout clothing, home goods, or trendy clothes. Just because a product has a popular logo on it doesn't mean it performs any better than a no-name version. Instead, look for the features you really need to find a budget-friendly option that works just as well. Let's say you buy 10 workout clothing items per year at $80 per item. That's a budget of $800 a year. You can replace it with a similar item from a cheaper brand for $30 an item for a budget of $300 a year. And here's the future value of the $500 a year that you would invest instead. Just between the first 3 categories, that's 100K in 10 years without going extremely frugal. You are not sacrificing your quality of life or dramatically changing any of your habits. If you make these 3 changes and redirect the money towards savings and investments, you don't even have to save anything above that to end up with 100K. That is wild, but let's keep going. Next on the list is social media courses. In the digital content space, it's important to realize that there is nothing anyone can sell you that you can't learn through your own research or from free resources available online. The truth is, these courses are designed to tap into your pain points, making you feel like they're the key piece to your success, when in reality, the information is already out there for free. If you're looking for a more organized learning experience, I recommend platforms like Coursera, which offer free programs from accredited universities. But here's the key. The real growth comes from doing, not endlessly consuming. Oftentimes, the desire to buy a course is rooted in consumerism and procrastination. It's the mindset of, I'll start doing XYZ after I take this course, but I promise you, the best way to learn is by rolling up your sleeves and getting started. Next is liabilities that are marketed as assets. There was a trend for a while where people would buy high-end handbags and claim they were making an investment. Let me break this down. An asset or an investment is something that appreciates in value over time. This means you can sell it in the future for more than what you bought it for. For example, when you buy real estate, it's likely to appreciate. If you invest in the stock market, historically, it's been trending upwards at 8 to 10% rate. Or if you invest in your education and land a higher paying job as a result, that's an investment in your future. A liability is something that loses value over time. So when you buy a handbag, even a luxury one, over time it depreciates, so it's not an investment. The more you use it, the more it loses value, and while you might be able to resell it, you'll never get more than what you paid for it. If you're saving your first 100K, you need to get real clear on what is an asset and what is a liability, market it as an asset. Next on the list is a BMW or a Mercedes or an Audi or whatever luxury car brand you're infatuated with. If you don't have 100K, you shouldn't be seen driving anything but a used Toyota or a Honda. They are reliable, last longer than other cars, and are cheap to maintain. Next on the list is renting an apartment from a leasing office. Full-time leasing office staff, amenities like pool and gym, marketing campaigns are all overhead costs that are tagged on top of your rent. These complexes are more likely to hike rent prices every year to keep up with the market rates and to adjust for inflation. Instead, rent from a smaller landlord who has less overhead costs and may offer a more affordable rate. Next category is buying in bulk. Buying in bulk makes sense when you're stocking up on something you use consistently and can store easily. But bulk buying becomes a waste of money when you're purchasing perishable items that spoil before you can use them, stocking up on something just because it's on sale, buying something if you don't have space to store it, or spending more upfront than your budget allows. If a great deal throws off your cash flow or leads to unnecessary waste, it's not actually saving you anything. Second to last category is fancy gym membership. That whole if I pay more, I'll force myself to go mindset, it rarely works. It's like trying to guilt yourself into working out by spending money. If anything, it just adds to the frustration when you don't go. If you're still trading time for money, dropping hundreds on a luxury gym just doesn't make sense, especially when you're trying to save your first 100K. And let's be real, those high-end gyms are usually not very convenient. If it's out of the way, you'll find excuses not to go. A budget gym like Planet Fitness gives you everything you need for $10 to $30 a month. Plus, there's probably one close to your work or home, which actually makes it easier to stay consistent. And if you want a structured workout, just ask ChatGPT to write you a plan for free. Here's the money that you can free up by trading your $200 a month membership for a $20 a month membership. And here's the future value if you invest the difference for 10 years at 8%. The last one on the list is new furniture. New furniture depreciates instantly, kind of like a new car. But the thing is, high quality furniture lasts decades, and there's a huge market for secondhand pieces that are just as good or even better than what you'd buy new. If you're saving your first 100K, this is a place where you can keep a lot of cash in your pocket. If you're into solid wood dressers, real leather couches, or high-end dining tables for a fraction of the price, check out Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, or estate sales. Saving up your first 100K is way easier than people think. The mistake most people make is assuming you need a six-figure income to get there and wait to start investing until it's too late. But in reality, it's not about how much you make, it's about how you spend it. Looking at these categories, it's not about extreme frugality or cutting out everything fun. It's about being intentional with your money and recognizing the areas where small changes can free up cash without lowering your quality of life. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.